a matter
part
of fact.
clarification. Yeah. Exactly. Sin, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
What up,
Just
Sin?
laugh. You guys don't have what it takes to be Globers. That's what I think.
Some of us don't even have what it takes to be
Fucking
flat earthers.
Sincleanser. You
I've never
don't have
seen
what
a
it
Glober.
takes.
They're on the cutting edge
Okay,
of science where you flat earthers just
Sink-
don't get it.
Sincleanser, what it takes to understand a globe model?
Well, it all
What do
starts
I
with
need to? What do I need to go
atoms,
back
bro.
to third grade?
You got to know what atoms are. So
Well, I
molecular
gotta find
theories.
out. I gotta go back to third grade, I guess, huh?
Yeah, if you guys would have passed third grade, we wouldn't be here. All right.
All right.
I always have to take into account what Sin says. Sin is top 3 flat earthers that I
Thank you.
respect. Yeah.
Sin number one. Sin number one.
It wasn't easy.
No, that's China number 1.
North Korea number 1.
Exactly.
Oh, I forget you're a communist.
Yeah.
Sincleanser is a communist.
Almost exactly.
All right.
What'd you guys do? Scare off
So-
the Globers?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know
Yeah,
what to do,
that's what it looks
Sincleanser, man.
like.
I don't need to.
They turn to the chat, the text chat, right?
I
You know, you
I
won.
want to
Yeah.
understand their
Glober-
model.
Challenges you in the text chat, right? When you're chatting in
Yep.
voice, and then they're gone, and they're texting you. You know you won.
So Egypt, if you can repeat their model back to them, right, and explain how it works, why would somebody tell you that you don't understand? What is it like? What is it missing?
It's
what am
fear,
I
man.
missing, right? Because
It's
I can
just fear.
explain the model. What do you mean fear? Who?
It's
No,
it's
well,
because
according to them,
no.
it's your. See, you can repeat it.
No, and
According
explain it.
to them, yeah. According to
Repeating
them,
is
you
not
don't understand it.
understanding.
Yeah,
Repeating is
well-
not understanding. But if you can actually explain the mechanism, right, of their model, what is there not to understand? What am I missing?
You're missing their understanding because their understanding is the correct one, not yours, because you're a flat earther. So your understanding, even if it's right, does not match their understanding, which is the right understanding according to them. So, according to them,
But
You
see,
don't know.
here's the thing. I would say that they have a more limited understanding of things because they have narrowed their mind by this fixed set of rules that they have, right? That they've been teach in school.
well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
good luck trying to tell them that you understand their model better than
If I didn't go to
they
school,
actually do.
if I don't have a
Yeah.
master's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they know that you guys have good points, but it all comes down. Their behavior all comes down to two cliches. One,
I mean, yeah.
people fear the unknown. Number one, and they like to stay with what they think they know, allegedly know. And then change is uncomfortable, so they want to feel safe and feel comfortable. That's why they don't want to go into what is the unknown. New research.
Yeah,
and they wanna
that's
stay where they're
what
at.
they neglect an understanding of, right? I mean, they like one of the questions on all the flat Earth servers on Discord that I've asked Globers alike, all of them, is what the hell are you doing here? Why are you here? And I hear
There's a few different answers, right? It comes down to like 3 though.
exactly.
3 different
Well,
major answers.
well,
What are they?
A lot of them, they say, well, let me see if this one of them is, I'm here to entertain myself. And then you hear them raging, right? Like so mad.
Right.
I'm like, is this
Yeah,
and
is this
that
how
actually
you get
falls
fun?
into what
That's fun.
Fundy was talking about, is the fact that we ask these hard questions, right? That they don't necessarily hear in their everyday community,
I've heard that a
or
lot. Yeah.
yeah, like we ask
The
the
honest
hard
Glovers will
questions.
say that as they won't say they're here for a laugh. The honest ones will say, I've actually learned a lot. You guys asked some pretty
Yeah,
interesting questions.
and that's what they actually mean by the word entertainment. Maybe
Yeah.
they're trying to laugh it off uh, in a way where
Mm.
they're presenting it that way, but in essence, what does it boil down to? We're asking the hard questions that nobody else in their community actually asks.
It's
And
so funny that you have to come to a flat Earth Discord server in order to find stimulating intellectual conversations nowadays.
Yes.
Like, what does that say about the world? What does that say about your
exactly,
belief? It's incredible.
Well, I think that
yeah,
flat Earth is the last, not the last, but it's true skepticism. It's true critical thinking. Like it's what science
Absolutely.
should be. If you want to test and validate it, well, talking about it and pushing the boundaries of what you can think about is, what flat Earth does for me at least.
exactly,
If
man.
if this
Right
gets
on
the
point.
recognition it deserves in the future, this will go down as one of these like hotspots of scientific debate and research and growth. Maybe in the
Yeah,
future
because
they'll look back on, you know?
if you go to mainstream, you got guys saying that the fucking cat on the box is alive and dead at the same time, and that kind of people are the epitome of
Right.
intelligence nowadays, right? And they adore these people when in reality what they're saying is just so retarded, it's stupid to a point that I
There
mean,
is wisdom there. They're presenting it wrong. They understand it wrong, but they have done a certain amount of work, and like you can use their delusions to your advantage because what they're doing is only a small percentage incorrect. The data is true. It's the interpretation that's wrong, or the way of expressing the data, and there's lots you can gain, like sort of metaphysical understandings about the ways they'll categorize things. It's just that they're gonna apply it wrong.
Yeah,
But
and
we can use
Fundy,
it.
you're right on point, and that's like, take RC for example. He's actually um using that argument in his favor in a way in the text chat against me. Like I'm taking the philosophical approach, but he's right in the scientific. See, that's what it boils down to. It is at the end of the day a philosophical question, whether it be scientific or not. It's it's built upon a philosophical ground and will always be.
that's
Science
correct, Edgy.
stems
When you
from
have something,
yeah,
when you have something outside of the scientific method, then it just turns into a philosophical question, question.
It reminds me of something Dyslow said, where he says like nothing can be known but only through the modality of the knower. And that just kind of brings into play there is a truth, but you can only see the truth from your perspective. True, most authentically, you're always going to have your perspective coming first, and then you'll have to
yeah,
try to, listen to other people express their perspectives, but they can only do that verbally or draw a diagram, or you can never see through another
yeah,
person's
man.
eyes.
Yeah, and that's actually what I love about the server, because it gives a chance for all of us who have different opinions to speak. And this is the success factor of this server and what I appreciate. We can all speak to our different truths because we all hold different truths, but we can actually, this is Discord. So it's about the discourse. It's about speaking, giving my opinion without not necessarily being muted, banned, or whatever, within the constructs and rules of the server. And what I like, I clarify this server as it gives the freedom, and this is why
It's
we're
a
here.
beautiful thing.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
yeah, it
beautiful
is.
thing, guys.
Well, no
Yeah.
pun intended. There is a little bit of a learning curve I've noticed here.
Well, for someone like you, yeah, I agree.
Well, I've noticed that like I'll be talking with everybody and I'll find myself disagreeing with people that are on my own side more so than even the Glovers. So I don't know. I
Yeah,
like it. I think it's good conversation, but I like that there's not like personal attacks or anything. I like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Everyone seems to be making a real effort not to go into the
Yeah,
insults.
exactly. And that's what's great about it.
I can speak from personal experience that I've learned more on Discord and the few servers that I see you guys in, listening to you guys, than I've learned maybe any other place as far as platforms or institutions. The stuff you guys bring to the table, the questions, I would put my kid, if I had
Well,
one, in
yeah,
here as soon as he
it's the
was
flat
able to
earthers,
participate.
Fundy. It's the flat
Yeah, man.
earthers.
Smart people here. Smart, skeptical, true scientists, in my opinion.
Yep.
Truth seekers, because that's what we're seeking, the truth. Ah,
You're
man,
not gonna like
I don't care if I'm
participate in this
wrong.
Discord for a week and come away like not learning like very profound lessons.
Yeah, definitely. I have been on a kind of Discord detox for the past few weeks,
You
but
gotta take.
notwithstanding, yeah, I get what you're saying.
You start taking it too seriously. It starts getting a little gay in here sometimes. It's like men start thinking way too. I don't know. Just they start taking each other too seriously. You're just a voice coming through the ether, and you have no effect on my life. I'm just here to have a good time. I'm also here for entertainment, but as a side effect, I'm going to learn a shit ton. What are we accomplishing at the end of the day? I don't know, the individual betterment of ourselves, and maybe that'll eventually lead to a better world in the long term. Who knows? But this place
Yeah.
cultivates wisdom,
Yeah.
and cultivates wisdom at the end of the day. That's what it's doing. As long as certain things get in the way of that,
Yeah.
that can be
It
impeded by
doesn't.
bitchy arguments or whatever.
I don't know if this happens to you, but whenever I hear to let's say to teach of from the globe side, like they're talking about the stars and everything, I can easily detect how many like assumptions they're making, and yeah, right
Right.
away. Yeah, this
Experience. Yeah.
Yeah, the truth
Experience is the
goggles.
best teacher.
The
Experience
truth
is the best
goggles.
teacher, and this gives us like a hyper active like exposure to the resistance, and there's something that I think applies to almost every facet of life, is that man supports himself on that which resists him. On a shallow physical uh, way of speaking, you can say like a wall has to resist you in order for you to lean against it, but you also need like an opponent in a discussion to resist you, for you to, I don't know, sturdy yourself upon.
I understand. Okay.
That's fine, but I mean, yeah, I mean, sometimes I find flat earthers just as much of an opponent for me as a glober.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
No,
like
it's perfect. Yeah.
a couple months ago, one of my friends, right, and he's in university, and he started trying to argue with me about this subject, and I said, "Look, man, I've been on this for at least 5 years. I know more than what you think that you probably could know." And he was like, "I'm in university. How do you think you're gonna know more than me?" And then I started asking him the like simple questions, right? Like, all right, what's the spin of
Gas
the Earth?
pressure next
What
to
is
a vacuum.
the radius of? No, I started by asking the question from his own model, and he didn't know them, right? And at that point, I'm like, why should I keep arguing with you? There's no point if you don't know your own model. I'm just
You
gonna
can't
be arguing
resist.
with. Yeah, there's nothing to
Yeah.
there's nothing there for me to argue with.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a valid
You
point.
ever seen that you ever seen that scene in the Disney movie called The Emperor's New Groove, where Pancho and the llama are climbing up a cavern by being back to back with their feet on opposing sides
Oh
of the
yeah,
valley
yeah.
wall? Right? That's what it takes.
To get to the top.
Uh-huh. Gotta have resistance.
Hmm? Talking about intellectual resistance.
Because we're all flawed, you know? None of us are perfect. None of us have absolute knowledge.
Talk
That's for
about
God
yourself,
alone.
man. Talk about yourself, man.
Okay, yeah. I'm never
Well, I mean,
absolutely sure. So
most
yeah,
all the
I'll put it that
stuff,
way.
most all the stuff that they have to measure has to do with resistance and electrical continuity in the medium.
Listen to D-Mock. He's perfect. So,
Hell no, not at all.
Break it down for us, Demon. Get to the facts.
Well, we got Sincleanser here.
I'm
His name
unperfect.
says it.
well, Sin is really perfect. So you gotta listen to him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Guess
That's
what?
without
I
saying.
got a new thing I've been into lately, guys. I'm
What is it, Sin?
taking on science and logic. I think we could do without them.
Okay. What
Ooh.
are you working with now? What's going to replace them or supersede them? Or what you got?
Okay. Well, the way I started, I'm like, is science the only way to know things? And right there, I'm
No.
like, okay, probably not.
No,
Is
it
logic
isn't.
the only way to know things?
No,
I
it
don't
isn't.
know, but I'm working on it. Because they like when you
What
do
about
science,
direct
right?
knowledge?
You're trying to like in science, you got the cause and effect thing, right? And then you have the interpretation of what you witnessed or what you observed, and then
Well,
the interpretation
according
is
to
where
QE, right?
well, like people use logic or science as a crutch for how to know things, right? And I think that the cause and effect thing really opens the door to interpretation. And I think that's what got us
Yeah.
into a lot of problems. The interpretation of the
Yep.
events.
Yep. Exactly.
You know, Sin, there's a question I like to ask people every once in a while. Glovers, non-Glovers, anyone who brings up science, right? Kind of in the air of what you're speaking on. I say, you know, can anyone in the room name me something that they can't scientifically explain, or that they think science could never provide an explanation for? And I have, sure, that's one word in a sense. Maybe like why is this sort of question instead of just like a one word, like what is the origin of consciousness instead of just saying the word consciousness itself, right?
Actually, it boils down to, do you agree that you have consciousness?
Like,
Let's not make this about me and my feelings.
Why does love cause you
Well,
pain?
Maybe I should give my example first, and then
deep questions. All right.
Okay,
all right.
yeah, go ahead.
So whenever I'm going with a Glover and he's like, this is the way science is the way we discover things or come to know cause and effect or whatever, explanations for things, I like to say, like, what's a question that science has no ability to even approach trying to think of an answer for or provide an answer for? And so I say, like, what makes it so that we have 3 dimensions? Why is the universe 3-dimensional? And that's not something science can ever hope to approach.
Yeah.
Why are there 3 dimensions?
Happen every time.
According to them, it can be 4-dimensional.
Spatial. Why are there 3 spatial dimensions? Right, but why are there 3 spatial dimensions
but there
that
are,
we live in?
There can be 4, and there can be multi.
No, but the 4th one, they like to, use like a pseudo dimension. It's not spatial,
Time.
a temporal dimension, right? A temporal dimension, which is why I said spatial. Why are there 3 spatial dimensions to reality, as far as we can tell?
Well, according to them, a temporal one can merge with a spatial to create a fourth dimension.
Yeah, I love their fairy tales, but that's just an example. Like,
But
science
I'm
can't
giving you
approach
an answer
answering that.
from a glober perspective.
According to them, in a multiverse, there's one of you that is a Glover, though. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to tell you.
Sorry to tell you, bro, but you're a Glover in another universe.
What makes it so that there are 3 dimensions? I just word it that way, and now there's nothing anyone can say scientifically. What makes it so that there are 3 dimensions? Well, it's just the way it is. You know, that's it.
Yeah, that's what did it for me. Is like I got into this conversation with Merle some random morning. And we were like, "Why is any of this happening? Like, why is any
Right.
of this happening at all? There's no reason that I can think of why we should even be in this situation to begin with. It's like
Or what
if you see a
makes it
planet,
that the universe...
As opposed to what, though? As opposed to what situation?
Well, like,
Exactly. Anything else.
isn't it such a weird phenomena to find ourselves even in this situation where there's such thing as a planet like Jupiter? Like, I don't think science
That's
will
the
ever
weird
tell
part
you
about
why
it. Is it
Jupiter's
seems that
there. You know what I mean?
it seems that way, but then it's like that it's like assuming that there's this other reality that makes more sense.
Hey, Sin, you know, in the word realm is included the word real, right? So
Well, yeah. Let me
I
just
have this
answer
short
to
little
that.
hike.
There is
One
a
sec, real
reality
quick.
that makes there is a
I have
reality
to...
that makes more sense that Jupiter being a planet as much as Earth is, because that's
No,
the
of course there
proposition.
is. That's what I'm saying. It's like that. Of course, that's the reality that they created for us to think is real is definitely not what the reality is. But then it's like if that the whole idea of this reality not being like all the things we actually observe, the reason
Yeah,
like
I
what he
mean,
was getting at, yeah,
I mean,
that
I
there would
mean,
be some kind of
one of
less
the
absurd reality to compare it to is the weird part. It seems like
one
there
of the
is, but there isn't.
normie reactions to the idea of globe Earth, right, is why are all the planets globe-like and the Earth is flat,
Oh yeah,
or all the
that's the
planets?
crux of it.
That's the normie kind of like answer
So
or question
pathetic.
or rebuttal. Yeah, and
Uh-huh.
it is.
Yep.
And you can
One
have
of
a
these base
simple
assumptions that we all just accepted, and they can't
exactly
think outside of that.
The billiard ball table with the billiard balls on top of it really is
exactly
one of the
Fundy.
greatest analogies I've ever heard of.
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
we nailed
That's
it
what I
there.
was
Like,
gonna bring. Yeah,
kudos to whoever the first person who said that was.
the
Like, good
memer.
job.
He was a
What?
memer.
What?
Right.
Memes,
Can you
man.
repeat it?
Memes.
Well,
The billiard ball table, the pool table. You can
Because
have,
the billiard balls on
hmm.
top of the table are round, does that make the table they're on round?
or the tennis court, or
Or,
whatever
yeah,
you can put
exactly.
in. Yeah,
Basketball,
Billiard
soccer,
balls works
whatever
the
you
best
want.
because there's multiple
'cause-
balls with multiple colors that
Right.
you can imagine
Right,
being
good.
like planets.
Exactly. That is the best one. You're right. Yeah.
I just
Kudos
put a
to
challenge
whoever
in
said
the.
that
By the
first.
way, I can't stay on long, guys, but I put a challenge in the text chat if anyone wants to take a look at it. I got to go, but the GIF that I put there that depicts why the Coriolis is an actual thing that we have as a point of contention, and I put here's a challenge to any glober. Given that the scale and globe of the rotation size and plane speed are exaggerated in this GIF, it does depict why the Coriolis effect is a point of contention. The bottom line is that if there is even the slightest adjustment needed to correct for Coriolis, then this means the movement of the Earth moving west to east independently of the plane flying north would not only be a calculation, but be able to be observed and captured with a camera. So the challenge is to provide us with a recreation of this GIF where the plane continues to fly around the globe, but would not be capable of seeing the ground move underneath in an opposing direction. No claims of the atmosphere moving with the Earth, conservation of momentum, slowing wind speeds, or automatic plane corrections can justify why a plane would not be able to somehow capture this. There are simply too many variables involved to claim that they would consistently make the observation impossible to notice. Or
Great
can
point.
anyone meet this challenge with a visual GIF recreation that contradicts what this one is showing us? They can't do it because they have to show the plane in relation to the Earth, always seeming stationary relative to its motion, and then it wouldn't be able to fly anywhere. I mean, this ends the argument.
It's part of their doublespeak. They claim Coriolis, and yet at the same time, their justification is you wouldn't expect to see the deviation.
And then they ask you
and claim,
where do we?
Where do we observe Coriolis?
It's like they can come up with calculations for horizon or refraction, and they could somehow justify it mathematically. But this one ends it. They can't justify it. They can't say that it's impossible for the plane to ever see the Earth moving independently of the plane, because by the laws of their globe model, it must. I don't think there's even a theoretical way of getting out of this.
I think Kosho posted what is 3D. I guess somebody out there figured it out. Just make shit up, and there's your answer.
All right, challenge laid down. I got to go, guys. Take care. Always listening.
All right. Well, good night, man.
Good convo, guys, for sure.
Fundamentalist? Is he the one who left?
No, that was what was his name? New Perspective or something?
Yeah. I think Kosho posted something about the 3D thing that he was asking about.
Fundy, what up, Fundy?
That's what I don't like about the Glovers, man. They just mindless read this fucking shit and they believe it. No critical think about what they're reading.
That's natural, man. We do the same shit. Who isn't guilty?
Man, it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating.
Behavior.
Didn't read.
It's natural. Is this Ball Lives?
Yep.
I'm hearing. What up, man?
Much. Got this.
Did you have a question?
What car I'm driving make you feel some type of way. That custom Bradley make you feel some type of way. This bitch I'm with got me feel some type of way. It's cause my homie's rich, you feel some type of way. Some type of way. Claire's got me feel some type of way.
Isn't there like a karaoke room that we haven't started up yet?
We should, man.
Karaoke
night. We got a party room, bro. We got a party room.
Jello shots.
I was gonna say, I feel like whenever me or Fundy ever get in our intoxicated fervor, it should be automatically defaulted into the party room.
Yeah, you shouldn't compare yours to Fundy's intoxication.
Well, I'm trying to rope.
What's up, guy? I hadn't been listening up until the last 10 seconds. I was chatting with my girlfriend. What about my intoxicated fervor?
Well, I just was saying, in the heat of the moment when we've been imbibing, I think that we should be defaultly moved to the party room.
Oh yeah, we got a little back and forth going on that drives others away for sure.
Well, make me a mod, and I'll make sure of that.
I tried to get Righteous to do that on.
Righteous is a party pooper, and he would never.
As true as that may be,
he's fun, but yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Fun, yeah. Righteous and fun.
So what are we talking about? Are we talking about creating a fourth voice chat room?
No, we're
No,
talking
we're
about
just talking. We got
karaoke
a lot
night.
more rooms. We got a lot more rooms that we
Fucking
haven't
night.
used.
Oh, karaoke night for
Not
sure,
Righteous.
man.
Yeah,
I'm down.
Righteous shouldn't
Yeah.
be in charge of karaoke night. I mean,
No, definitely not.
He would
Yeah, but
only sing
karaoke night,
hymnals,
that sounds
man.
like
It would
fun.
just be hymnals.
Uh-huh. No,
Well, I mean,
but what's up?
We got a lot of rooms. There's a lot we haven't really even. explored yet.
yeah, I'm looking for a flat Earth comedian, for example. I mean, there is that little comedian in all of us.
That's sin.
Somehow.
That's sin.
God, every flat earther is a comedian.
Sincleanser is the flat Earth comedian.
Oh,
It's
you
not
bring Paul a
understood, Fundy.
clown. Shut
Not
up, clown.
What is the deal with airplanes? You get on the airplane and you feel rushed to sit down because the person behind you is trying to get to their seat. And what's going on here? Oh my God! They're telling me to put my seat, and the captain's talking to me. Where does he get off talking to me like?
You guys know how Emerald has that. So how about that airline food thing?
How about that airline food?
He always does that when it's like an empty.
It's a great line, honestly. It works.
It's terrible.
I've used it.
I don't even know why I laugh at it anymore. It's just that it's always there to fill in.
We could have karaoke night. We could have like improv comedy night, little 10-minute, 5-minute segments or something. Try and make everyone laugh.
Yeah,
do what you gotta do.
Like Last Comic Standing, like that TV show.
Well, let's not make it a competition. We'll just have some fun here. I mean, make it a competition if you want. I won't stand in your way.
I'm sorry, guys, but there's no room for fun in these serious conversations. It's all about learning.
There has to be bloodshed. There has to be bloodshed.
Yes.
Everything's recorded. One of us will be humiliated.
Don't remind me. Fuck.
Oh yeah, man. That's still a thing for me. I gotta learn. Everything here will
especially when you're
for
drunk,
eternity.
right? When you're drunk and you don't remember what happened last night, and then you have to listen back. What the fuck
dude!
did I say?
I put it out. I used to have
Exactly. You have to put it out. You can't listen back to what you said as your drunk self. That's
I used
torture.
to go on Jose's show. I'd go on Jose's show and take on everyone, and I was completely plastered, right? And I really thought I did a good job, but I don't know.
Exactly.
You
so
don't
when
really
listen
know when
back,
you're in too deep until it's
yeah. When you're in too deep, you listen back. It's like, what the fuck? Oh my god!
Jose
I can't do this anymore.
Jose has this thing. It's like a 3-hour special of me just like taking on everyone for 3 hours. And I listened back to it and I was like, dude, this is actually genuinely funny. Half of this shit.
Of course.
That's a good.
It depends on the mood though. Sometimes I'm like a fucking do or die.
For me, it's like, what the fuck did I say? Oh my god!
It's Jose still a thing, Sincleanser?
I don't know. He banned me from the server.